Welcome to Renewed and Radiant for women over 40 who are ready to own their power, prioritize their wellness, and design a life they love. I'm your host, Elsa Martin, and I'm here for the real, raw conversations that we all crave. Whether we're talking healing, hormones, purpose, or pleasure, nothing is off the table. So grab your tea, your journal, or just your earbuds, and let's dive into the empowered, vibrant life that is waiting for you because your next chapter starts now. All right, this is going to be amazing today. I have someone very special with me, and I can't wait for you to meet her. We go way back, so I'm excited to have her on today. And this is a little bit about her. She is a wife, a mom of two. She lives in Southern Alberta. She's an entrepreneur to the core. Since age 23, she's been self-employed and in the e-commerce space. She's currently working on building a global e-commerce business and leadership team at 3 International. And she teaches social sellers how to embrace text marketing in their businesses to truly leverage time and maximize their impact. Because isn't that what we all want to do? Leverage our time and maximize our impact? Yes. And so when not working in her business, she's busy as sports mom, taking her kids to cheer and hockey and baseball and softball and trying to fit in time with their horses in between. So amazing, amazing. Welcome, Billie Haggie. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Thanks for having me, Elsa.
Yeah, you are so good at what you do. And I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to learn from you today, plus the encouragement and inspiration that everybody listening is going to go away with today. So this is going to be good. All right, let's start. 3 fun little rapid fire questions, Billie. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go?
I would go back to Zambia.
Oh, nice. Yeah. You were in
Yeah.
an orphanage, right?
Yes. I've been there 5 times
Oh,
and helped fundraise to build a house on an orphanage over there and in just outside of Lusaka. And so I haven't been able to go back for a number of years. So I'd go there in a heartbeat.
that's amazing. So incredible. Okay. Favorite healthy food?
Hmm. Healthy food. Does taco in a bag count? I'm
Hold up.
kidding.
Hold up.
I'm kidding.
That's the hockey mom coming out right there, right? That's the option.
No, I love just like a really good salad, and lately I'm hooked on microgreens.
Awesome. And last one, what's the scariest thing you've ever done?
Ooh, that's hard. Yeah, there's a few things. Last year, I made a huge shift in my business halfway through the year and resigned from a company that I'd been with for 18 and a half years. And so that was actually that I would say that would venture into one of the scariest things I've ever done because it was a huge leap of faith.
Yes, that's
That was a huge
incredible. Wow.
decision. Yeah.
Congratulations and good job being brave. That's amazing. So good. And one of the reasons why I have you on here today is because you are such an encourager. You inspire women, but not only that, you live it. Like I've watched you. I mean, you've earned vehicles, you've earned trips with your businesses, right? You've done all kinds of amazing things, and you live it. So you don't just talk about it; you are actually applying this. And I love that your passion is to help other women to do the same thing.
Mhm.
What I'm curious about, Billy, is why are you like that? What caused you to become a person that loves to help other people to achieve their goals?
It's interesting. I actually went to bed thinking about this the other night
Mm.
because this past hockey season, I just became super involved with my child's hockey team. I was the team manager, and we planned and organized a big tournament and did a bunch of fundraising at it, and then went to a hockey meeting the other night. This is a bit of a tangent, but it'll make sense. And I came home. They were like, through that process of doing that tournament, and I just wanted the whole thing to be for the benefit of the kids. Like I wanted every kid to come to that tournament and leave feeling like they were a superstar, right? And it was just so much fun. I've been thinking about that because I guess it's been really since I started my entrepreneurial journey. Like I was 23 years old, I was super broke. I started for the money, honestly. Like it was material things when I was 23 that made me want to pursue being an entrepreneur, working from home, all those things, and the freedom that was attached to that. But in that process, I have learned so much about myself. And one of the things that I really feel has kept me going is being encouraged to always be pursuing personal growth, what it teaches you and how it gives you the mental strength to maybe get through things you wouldn't have got through otherwise, if that makes sense. But going back to the fundraising thing, it started in my business. I had never done anything like fundraising wise or helping. Like, this is where the helping other people comes in to answer your question. We did a fundraiser for some children who lost their mom as a result of
Mhm.
domestic violence, and then that was just like, I think what happens, or how people figure out how they can empower other people, is by empowering themselves first,
I
if
love
that
that. That
and
makes so
so
much sense. Yeah,
yeah,
you can't give what
finding
you don't have.
Yeah, finding something that you are passionate enough about. And generally, I feel like it can't be about you,
Mm.
or you will be hesitant to pursue it. So if you truly feel like you're doing something that benefits other people, when it comes to, like, say, fundraising or helping other people, when yeah, it might help you as a byproduct in some way, but at the end of the day, if you just do it with a genuine desire to help someone, whether it's helping a kid have a great time at a hockey tournament, or helping some kids who just lost their mom, or building a house in Africa, when you feel it in your heart, like that you're doing something good, that's what empowers you to pursue it.
I love that. That is so good. It's true, right? And then it kind of becomes addictive, doesn't it? Where it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, you love that feeling and you know that you're doing good and you feel more empowered by empowering other people. We are more empowered as well. So tell us, if a woman is listening to this and she's thinking about things that she would like to do, or maybe, she's like, yeah, there's other people I would like to help, but I'm not in a position to help. I can barely help myself, or I've got goals and things I want to do. So, what are some things that we could encourage her in, or that she could do to start to take the steps towards that?
Well, I feel like, one of the things that I have noticed is that if we sit and look at what we think we have to offer, a lot of times we don't think of ourselves highly enough. And
Mm-hmm.
people feel like they don't have value to bring to the table, but there's no way you're going to figure out what your value is unless you put yourself out there and just go for it. So, like, an
Yeah.
activity with your child that you could be involved with,
Hmm.
you can contribute in a meaningful way, whether you are sitting at a raffle table with a friendly smile, or whether you are collecting donations or finding sponsors, or whatever the case might be. And so I think that people just sometimes, women with men alike, we just may not see our value. So then we don't feel like we have any value to add. But the only way to find it is just to put yourself out there, do something small. And a lot of times too, people feel like, well, I can't give financially. Maybe if it's a financial thing that they're like, well, I don't have anything to give, but you can give of yourself. You can give of your time. There's plenty of other ways that don't have to involve your pocketbook, that you can be involved in something. And so I feel like the only way to know what you're good at is to just take a step and put yourself out there and get involved in some way.
That's so good. I think what we tend to do, I know what I used to do for sure, and I've heard this quote so many times. Comparison is the thief of joy. So, like
Mhm.
you said, we can think, well, I can't give money like that person can give, or I don't have that amount of time to be able to do that thing, and we can use those as excuses. Or we can say, what is it? Like, let's take a minute and think about, what is it that I can give? Instead of
Mhm.
focusing on what I can't give and comparing myself to other people, and so then not doing anything, instead stopping, taking that time and thinking about, what can I give? Because we all have something in us we can give if
Yeah,
we
and
really take the time.
I also, I don't know where I heard this years ago, but every whale knows a minnow and every minnow knows a whale. And when you think about it, it's like you might feel small and like you don't have anything to contribute, or you don't even have $100 to give to whatever, but you might know somebody that does.
Hmm.
And if you were the person that connected whale to your cause, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. And
Yes.
so it's a funny analogy I heard years ago, and I always think about that because I even think about it in my business. people think, well, I don't know anybody. I don't think I could be successful at that in terms of building a successful business online, or nobody would want to buy from me. And that's just not true. Like
Right.
if you've got one
Yeah.
follower, if you got one person, let's say on Instagram, or one Facebook friend, you have influence.
It's true. Yes. And even if it's not on social media, you're influencing people. You're being watched. We all are, whether you realize it or not.
Like your little people in the back seat. Like
Exactly.
your family, you are the president, prime minister, the be all end all of for the people in the back seat.
Yes, exactly. And the teachers or
Mhm.
the other sports moms or the other grandmas, whatever it is that
Yeah.
you happen to be in contact with, the teller at the grocery store. If you're the one that always comes in there crabby and miserable, well, you're having an influence on them. If you're the one that comes into the store with cheerful and a compliment and something nice to say, you're having an influence on them. And
Yes.
it can be so simple. I think a lot of times we think we have to have something big to give or something big to do, but that's not the case. I love that you said just step out and do it. Just step out
Yeah.
and do it.
And remember that your energy introduces you before you even speak,
Yeah.
right? It costs you nothing to smile at the grocery store cashier, or smile when you're walking somebody by somebody in the street, or open a door. Those types of things cost you nothing. And imagine what the world would be like if everyone would sweep their own doorstep. The whole world would be clean. But imagine if everyone would treat other people like that, and if one person gets that even from this, right? This conversation is worth it. But I just feel like, yeah, people need to recognize they just don't see their own value, I guess.
Mm,
And then it has that trickle effect into every aspect of their life where they don't feel like they have anything of value to offer. But it's like
mhm,
the littlest things that you can bring value to people's day, like by always being approachable, being
mm.
kind. They're sitting at a hockey rink or any sort of event, and they're like, you know what, I can go sit by her. It's not going to be weird, right? Like imagine if you just were a safe spot for people to sit with. That's just that's my goal, and hopefully it's a positive example to other people.
I love that. That is like literally doing nothing, honestly, just, allowing the space for other people and
Mhm.
to listen. They know that what they share with you is safe and that you don't have to show up with this big grandiose thing. It's just being authentic and real and helping people feel safe in your presence. That is so
Mhm.
good. Okay, we need to go back. I got to touch on that what you said about feeling like we have nothing to give. And I don't know if you were ever in that place. I know I was several years ago where I felt like I couldn't do it. I have nothing to give. Nobody cares about what I have to say, all the things. But it was my experience, my journey that I couldn't keep to myself. I had to share it because it changed my life. So I wanted to share it so other people could as well, which has been incredible. But for the woman that is thinking that to herself right now, I have nothing to give. Nobody would listen to me. What would you say to her?
Well, I would remind them, you actually do have value.
Mm.
People are paying attention, and gets people's attention most is when they start to see someone realize their own value. But I would say to that person, maybe you don't see your value because of the rooms you're in and the energy of the room you're in. And, when you think about the people that you hang out with the most, like what kind of value are they bringing to your life? Are they sitting around talking about other people and gossiping, or are they adding value to other people's life, speaking life over other people? Number one, that would be a key thing, and I think about this with my daughter. She's 10, and we're constantly having conversations right now about friendships and how do you choose your friends wisely. And the thing is I can't choose her friends for her. She's going to choose her friends. I can help her, with check boxes. Like, what kind of check boxes do I want my friends to meet? And I always say to her, I'll be like, how do you feel after you spend time with that person?
Oh, that's good.
I'm like,
That's
do you feel good about yourself, or do you kind of feel bad, or are they talking about other people all the time or putting other people down? And I said, if you don't feel good when you're around that person, spend less time with them. And so that's what I would say to the person that is not seeing their value or their worth. It could be a direct result of who you're spending the most time with.
Oh, that's so powerful. I love that. Love it. That's such a good little test is how do I feel after I've been with that person? It speaks volumes. It really
Mhm,
does, right? Tells us what we need for sure.
mhm,
That is so good. And especially for women, the power of community. Like getting yourself around other people that are uplifting and encouraging and you feed off of each other for the
mhm.
negative or the positive. So
Yeah,
it's so powerful.
yeah, and just feeling safe around people, like, if you hang out with a group of people that are sitting around talking about other people, chances are they're talking about you when you're not
Absolutely.
in the room, right? And so, like, that's a really good place to start, is, like, taking yourself away from those rooms and those conversations and those tables, and finding tables that are more uplifting, or, expanding your horizons in regards to your friend groups. And that's one thing that I really feel, having been involved in network marketing for 20 years now, and what I've learned about putting yourself in rooms of people that are just dreaming a little bigger, pursuing things over and above and beyond the status quo, whether it's a little or a lot. And
Mhm.
I've learned a lot from that experience. And that's what I love about that industry, is just how it encourages everyone to believe in themselves.
It's so good.
And
It's
and
so
and and I really do feel like, when someone says, "Well, that didn't work for me," it's like, "Well, did it not work, or did you not wanna believe in yourself just a little bit, that you might just put yourself out there enough to see what might happen," right?
yes, yes, that
A
is so
valuable
good.
lesson that I've learned from that.
That is so good because it takes courage. It does
Mhm.
to step
Yep.
out. But the interesting thing, and a quote going back to the one thing you said, a quote that I heard that I've never forgotten, and I love it, and I believe it's true, is if they talk to you about other people, they talk about you to other people.
Mhm.
So, if they're gossiping to you, they're gossiping about you because they gossip. So,
Yeah.
it's get yourself out of those rooms as much as possible and surrounded
Mhm.
by a positive community. I know that I'm like the most caring. I think I'm one of the most amazing coaches, but I know that one of the very best part and then one of the favorite part of everybody that comes to my program is the community of supportive women that they are a part of. Like it's not so much about me, it's about all the other women that they get to be in the room with, even though we're,
Mhm.
on virtual, right? So
Yeah.
it's powerful. It is so powerful. I love that.
Mhm.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I have to share this quote that I saw you post a while back, Billy, and I was just like, this is so good. Believe it or not, your gifts are not for you. They're for the people God assigned to you. The longer you wait to use them, the longer they are waiting too.
Yes.
Come on, that is an eye opener right there.
Right? And that's what I think about when you think that you don't have any gifts. And I'm going back to the hockey tournament example, just because it's
Yeah.
it's fresh and it's recent. Moms would come to me and say, "Well, I'm not really good at anything, but I'm a worker." And I would say to that, "But that's what you're good at."
Yeah.
Right? And thinking that that's not valuable is just not true. And if we don't have people that check different boxes, that's what makes the whole thing come together.
Yes.
And and so it's just, we have this notion of, like, not seeing our value, I suppose,
Mm.
because we feel it's gotta be here. But, like, what if everybody that just was here, realized their value could be here? It doesn't have to be up here or in your mind, because it
Right.
is actually up here. It's just the value we attach to it in our mind, to our worth, right? And so I think back to the house in Zambia. It was 2013. A friend and I started on that mission, and that was a seed that was planted for me. And the house opened at the end of 2014,
Hmm.
well, basically January 2015. And that was the last time I got to go back there, and that's why I said that's when I would go back. But since then, so that house opened in January of 2015, 12 children who are orphans in Zambia otherwise would be living on the street have had a safe place to live
Ah,
for almost 10 years now.
yes.
But if you had said to me, it's going to take $120,000 that you're going to need to raise to build that, I would have been like, no way. Like, Absolutely not. But it all started with me seeing these children that just lost their mom, and
Mm,
we wanted to support them.
mm.
And it just started as a little thing,
Ah,
like one meeting. It started with one business meeting. We were going to raise some money for them. And then it carried on. And then other people started, but that was our one meeting,
hmm,
right? And I think we did like a 50-50 or something.
hmm.
Like just some rent, like thinking we could start by raising 30, 40, $50. In the end, we ended up having a $33,000 fund for the kids within four or five short months.
Amazing.
And
Amazing.
so their grandparents were supported in being able
Mm,
to pay for all of the activities, expenses that they were going to incur, a result of now caring for their grandchildren, right?
mm.
But had we not started with that one little idea, then I was like, okay, well, if I could be a part of doing, $33,000, I could do 120. And just every little bit you do, your vision expands, right?
Yes.
And it
Yeah.
grows.
It's
So,
so
but you
true.
have to start. Like, it's just like, just start small. Start with a 5-pound weight, right?
Yeah, exactly. I love that. That's so true. Okay, so much right there. I just want to unpack that. That was so good. First off, you had to get yourself in that meeting. So it's taking this the scary step of going to this meeting in the first place. Then you made the connections there. You decided to step out and do that fundraiser. Okay, what that does is when we take a step out, it helps build up our self confidence.
Mhm,
When we accomplish a goal in one area, it overflows into every area of our lives. I see it
mhm,
all the time with the women I work with, and then it builds up your confidence. And you're like, hey, like you said, I can do the next step. I can do that next thing. And it just
mhm.
grows and grows and grows. And then you look at someone, and we're in this place where we're too scared to take the step. And we look at someone that has taken all these steps and we think, well, I could never do that. You don't see all the scary little steps that person took to get
Yes.
to where they are, right?
Yes, it's like all these little things, as a result of doing these different fundraisers and events. And I mean, we've had 5K runs down the strip at Las Vegas. Like we've done all these things, right? And so, but it all just started with one little meeting, a monthly meeting. Like you said, and no matter what you're doing, when you get a little bit of confidence in one thing, it has a spillover effect into other areas of your life. Like I just had a parent teacher interview with my son's teacher. He just started playing goalie full time this year.
Oh,
So it's
pressure.
oh man. And so he's still pretty young, so it's like the pressure of the games, and thankfully we're going to ease into it. But she said to me, she's like, his confidence in class has just gone through the roof, like around Christmas time. And she's like, he's like a different kid. But he was a couple months into hockey and he just really started seeing that he was good at that. Like he's a
Hmm.
good little goalie for his age. Humble brag there, but he loves
Yeah,
it. And
yeah.
and he's excited about it and he's passionate about it. We were talking and she had asked me, she said, like, what had changed
Hmm.
for him in his life? And I was like, honestly, he's just like really pursuing becoming a better goalie. He's doing extra practices and doing some extra things that are going to help him learn his skills on, quicker and things like that. And for him, that's like a connection that he's worthwhile and he can be good at stuff. So he's really working hard in school. So I just think like you said, it has a trickle effect. When you feel confident in one area, it builds into every other area of your life. You cannot help but have a trickle effect.
So true. Yes, yes. And the interesting thing, what you've seen with him and what always happens when we're doing something that we're excited about, that we love, if it feels good. And then putting in the extra work, the extra effort, the extra energy, it's more of a joy. It's not such a, oh no, I have
Mm.
to do it. When it's something you actually enjoy, then you get excited about it and then you're good at it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like my daughter with her horse. She's not super confident with him, but every time she does something a little bit more, pushes herself just a little bit more out of her comfort zone, lends to the next time.
Hmm.
And so we just underestimate the value of small beginnings.
So good. So that's everybody started small. I don't care
Mhm,
who you are, right?
mhm. Yep.
Everybody starts small. So why it's so looked down upon, or we think it's not going to be us or whatever the case, everybody does that. You starting, there's a starting line and you carry
Mhm.
on from there. So
Yep.
true. I'm going to share my takeaways. I was taking notes because this is so good. Number one is go for it. Go
Mhm.
for it. And number two, when you go for it, you're going to build your confidence to keep going for more things. And
Mhm.
then the other thing that I really got was to get in a community.
Mhm.
Get yourself in the rooms, get yourself in a community, get yourself surrounded by positive people that you can uplift and they can uplift you as well.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing that I could say that I've learned, especially over the last year, well, actually, I'd say over even the last 4 years, is it has to always fall within your moral compass
Mm,
and within your values.
that's
Because
good.
if it's not, or if it's not aligned to you, or if you no longer feel like something is a fit, that's really something that I see happening a lot right now is
Mm,
people are not confident in taking steps outside their comfort zone because it's where they're at might feel safe to them,
mm,
whether they're safe financially, they know what to expect, it's like their comfort zone, but it's for whatever reason it might not be aligned with them anymore. And one of the things that I've really learned is that at some point you have to choose your purpose over your paycheck.
that's good.
And like what's the cost, like there's a cost involved with standing up for yourself or your integrity or your moral values or whatever the case might be. There will
Hmm.
be a cost attached to it,
Hmm.
and the cost will be one of two things. It might feel like it's going to cost you financially for a while you rebuild or while you do something different, or walk away from that pension you've been working on for 20 years, or while when you walk away from something that you thought you wanted at some point and maybe you did want it but just over time it
Hmm.
didn't feel in alignment anymore, or it's going to cost you always wondering, waking up, maybe it's a job you don't love, going to that job every day thinking, what if I just took a chance on whatever it is you're thinking of taking a chance on? And so you get to decide. But at the end of the day, what example do you want to set for your
Hmm.
kids and for your family? Like, you can do big, scary things, or are they getting the best? Are they getting the rest of you at the end of the day after this thing you don't even love doing that much got the best of you? Right.
Yeah.
And so it's just like opportunity cost.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of times we think about what's safe, and it's like, what if you just took that little step or were a little bit brave or did the thing you're thinking about doing, joined a program that's going to cause you to push yourself and stretch yourself.
Mhm.
And so I always just, that's what I think about is just like, whatever you're doing, make sure you can do it with your integrity and your values and your purpose attached. And if those things are missing, then it's worth it to take a look. I'm about to be 43, and
Yay.
I just thought to myself, I thought, gosh, what do I want the rest of my life to look like? Like, how do I want this to look? And I just have learned a lot about myself in the last 4 years, and that I can stand up for what I believe in, and for myself and for my family. And so that's what my encouragement would be, is like, if you're not in alignment with what you're doing, you have to make a switch. It's going to come at one point or another. So do it sooner than later.
Oh, that's so good. And pick your pain, right? Like
Mhm.
yeah, it's painful and scary to step out and be uncomfortable, but it is way worse to be looking back with regrets and wishing that you would have done it a long time ago. So
Yeah.
interesting that you would say that. I literally just yesterday was writing out my 3-year plan and I'm 54 now. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be 57. Like, we got to get things rolling along here. Like it's, yeah, I wish I would have started sooner. Like, my advice is get going on it, get stepping out. Like, don't wait,
Yeah.
get rolling with what you're passionate about. Yeah,
Well, and too many people underestimate, they overestimate what can happen in a year, and they underestimate what can happen in 5.
it's true. Yes, yes.
And so they look at this big picture, that's going to be hard, or I could never do that, or I could never have that. But it's like, if you just start doing a little bit and a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, you'll be blown away at where you will be in a year and or 5 years from now. or
So
20.
good. Yes, that is so good. I love that. I love that. Okay, let's on that note, Billie. Billy's a coach. She coaches women with social selling. So if you like what you've heard today, reach out to her. She also has an e-commerce business. She's an amazing businesswoman. If you're going to model yourself after anybody in business, I think she would be an amazing example to follow. So, what is one practical step? They're at the point today where it's like, I don't know what to do. What's one thing I could do today to get going towards a goal?
I would say ask for help. You don't have to do it alone. If you want to learn to make healthy lifestyle choices, send Elsa a message, right? Like
Mhm.
honestly,
Yeah.
like ask for help because someone that's been there and done that can save you a lot of time in like shortening the learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Or the success curve, if you will. Like, so reach out for help. Send the message that you're scared to send. Take a deep look and don't write off something that you're thinking about doing just because you think you might not be good at it, or you
Mm.
think it doesn't work, or you think that it's too hard making those lifestyle changes, or whatever the case might be. Like, take a really good hard look and then so many people they're like, well, what if it doesn't work? But it's like, what if it does? What if you do make those changes and by summer you're down 10-20 pounds? What if you do pursue that business and you add an extra $1,000 to your household income? Like, too many people are worried about what if it doesn't work instead of thinking a little bit bigger about what if it does.
I
So
love that.
that would be
Yes.
my encouragement, is like, get help, send the message you're scared to send, and get your questions answered, or and take a like figure out what it is you want to do and then just find one person who can help you do it.
That's so good. Just ask for help. Yesterday, I was thinking about this because I was working on my 3-year plan. And it was like one of the best things I ever did was to get a coach, for sure.
Mhm,
Probably the best, well, for sure, the best thing I ever did for my business was get a coach. And not only because my coaches have helped me accelerate what I'm doing, many times talked me off the ledge, different things where I was like, I can't do it. Oh, yeah, you can. This is what we're going to do. This is the steps, right? Okay, I can. But also the quality of life. When you have a coach to help you navigate the things, your quality of life is so much better because you don't have to do it on your own. You don't have to figure everything out. You don't have all the stress that goes along with it because you have someone that's already walked the journey. It's so
mhm.
powerful. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
so
for
good.
sure.
So good. Okay, where can everybody find you if they want to reach out to you? How can they reach you, Billie?
Well, I'm on social media, on Facebook or Instagram. You can just search my name, Billie Haggie, and I've got two Instagram accounts. One is kind of my personal account, and then I have another for my business. So Billie Haggie or Billie Haggie Social. Those are probably the two quickest, easiest ways that you can find me and connect.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. You are so amazing. I just really appreciate this time and your wisdom, and I love your passion for helping other people to achieve goals. So, thank you for everything you do.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been fun, so I loved it.
Yes, awesome. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining me today on Renewed and Radiant. I hope today's conversation sparked something in you, a shift, a question, or even a bold new intention. If you loved this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another amazing woman. Until next time, stay strong, stay empowered, and keep showing up for yourself. Because you, my friend, are just getting started on designing a life you love.